$1 million in being able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, because here's a person, you don't know what they went through in their life that brought them to being in that position.
Right.
And that was something that, you asked, one of my messages is to definitely not judge a person by their actions and what they do and how they dress and, how they carry themselves, because you don't know what they've been exposed to and what kind of life they've been living. And each and every one of us carries issues.
Yes, but each and every one of us has a responsibility to do the right thing. No excuses. I don't care what you went through. I went through shit too. I'm going to do the right thing.
Well, the thing that they need, and there's a lot of people out there that they just don't know how. And that's what we're here for.
Okay.
That's what we're here for.
The healers of the world.
The healers of the world, the light workers, yes.
Okay.
Because people get caught up in positions where they're just so down on their luck. They've lost their jobs, they've lost their families, they've lost their homes, and they're just like, they give up. They give up because everything that they may have tried didn't work out for whatever reason. So having that type of a person and having you or I come across them, and I came across someone a few weeks ago. We were having our sister circle in the park.
Okay.
And he came over and we had this blow-up ball of the earth that we use as our center for our altar.
Okay.
And he wanted to know where we got it. And, we figured it out. I knew that you could get it on Amazon or whatever. But then we got into conversation. And it turns out it was a young guy. And he started opening up to me.
Okay.
And he had a lot of issues. He got arrested when he was like 17 years old. He didn't go into details. He was in jail for like 10 years. Got out of jail. He has a fiance now. He's got a 9-month-old daughter, and she's got 2 other children. So now he's got all this responsibility. And what he was looking for, he was not looking for religion. He was looking for spiritual, and if you want to call it a natural way in living. Tao. Shamanic ways.
Right.
So I said, I could help you. I do my Reiki, I do shamanic practicing. I know people who can also help you, because it turns out that he was into drinking, and I don't know if he did drugs also. So I thought of Daniel Ramos.
Right.
Because I know he deals with addictions.
He does counseling too.
Right. So I mentioned to this gentleman, to me he was a kid. And I explained to him, I said, Daniel is Native American. And he was like, that's perfect. Oh, this is wonderful. I knew something was going to happen good with you, talking to you. Right. So I got everything all set up. And I said, he gave me his phone number. Okay. I reached out to Daniel, or I saw him at the gathering that Sunday. And I talked to him briefly. And I said, I'm going to text you his number and everything, because he agreed to help out. And I made contact with this gentleman again. And unfortunately, he went completely in the opposite direction. He says, I thank you for what you were trying to do for me, but I made the decision and I don't have any other choice, but I sold my soul to the devil.
So he's back. He's selling drugs or taking them again?
Whatever. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But for whatever moment in time,
he had that brief spark
He had
of
a
hope.
brief spark. But I think that seed that I planted in him which he's responsible for making it grow.
Right.
One day, he may just wake up and say,
Damn.
that girl, Diane, that I met in the park that day, I have her card, and she set me up with these people. I think it's time for me to reach out to her again.
Right.
And I may hear from him again. I don't know.
That's
But
cool.
it's when you meet people like that he was looking for help. He wanted the help. Whatever happened, he may have gotten into a fight with someone. He may have gotten into a fight with his fiance. I don't know. Something triggered him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a matter of, can I bring him back? And I left the door open with him. And I sent him a text message and I said, when you're ready, I'll be here. Always know that. Never forget that.
When the student is ready to learn, the teacher.
Exactly.
Yep, I know that one. Yep.
You know, because I know with people with addiction, you know, what they usually say, they usually tell the person closest to them is you have to turn your back on them. But that's when you get to a certain point. If that person is not reacting in the way that they should to get help, you turn your back and you let them know, I mean business.
Right, because you don't want to be an enabler.
Right.
Okay.
So, and I'm not in that position, and hopefully I don't get into that position with anyone, because I would hate to have to turn my back on anyone. You know, it's a horrible, horrible feeling. You know,
Yeah.
I could say that I did do that, unfortunately, to a very close friend of mine, because the relationship that we had, and she suffered a grave trauma with her son, and I had just lost my husband, and I was doing everything possible for me to get up in the morning and keep living.
Right.
And she was in such a dark place, and I was trying to move forward, and every time I was talking with her, she kept on pulling me back. And I came to the decision that I felt it was going to be temporary to sever ties,
Right.
because I need to take care of myself. And if
Right.
I can't do that because you keep pulling me back,
Right.
I gotta walk away.
Right.
And it was one of the hardest things that I had to do. And I have never gone back. I've wanted to, but I know she's a lot better than she was, but she's still kind of in that dark place.
Okay.
And I can't be there.
I hear you.
I can't be there
Stay
because
in
I've
the
worked.
light.
Yeah, because I've worked way too hard
Right.
to heal from my pains and my traumas, to keep going back. And even though I tried to help her, she kept on putting up the roadblocks every time I said, try this or try that. Roadblock after roadblock.
Barriers.
Yeah. And I said, okay, I can't. But I pray for her.
Okay.
You know, she's in my thoughts, and I pray for her, and I hope that, things will eventually work well for her.
Cool.
And that's all I could do.
That's enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Exactly. Because we cannot control what other people do.
And barely control ourselves. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll be drinking water and choke or trip while I'm chewing bubble gum. So I'm not in control of me either.
Right.
So,
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, well, let's do you have a message you want to give the world before we say goodbye? One last thought, glimpse of hope, a prayer. Do you have something?
It's part of my prayers that I say every morning.
Okay, let's do that.
That I ask that we all, every human that lives on this planet Earth, accepts one another, respects one another, and loves one another.
That sounds cool. That sounded like she was saying peace and love, y'all.
Mm-hmm. And the peace and the love
Peace
comes
and
as
love.
it's already mixed in there.
Right.
But, you know, more importantly today, because of the course of events that have been going on in these times,
They've always been going on.
it's always been going on. Yes. And I mean, I grew up in the midst of a lot of stuff going on. And, I got into a couple of situations where, I was trying to be me and in accepting and respecting another.
Mm-hmm.
And I was being ridiculed and put down and, what are you doing? Why are you with those people and this and that?
Right.
It's like, what are you talking about? That's a human being.
Yeah, but what they were talking about was control.
Right.
They wanted to control you,
Exactly.
too. So
Exactly.
that was a different scenario.
And I stood my ground.
Right.
And I mean, I could just give you one example. I was in high school.
Okay.
And the high school that I went to was predominantly black.
Okay.
Didn't bother me. I was like, I'm here to learn, Sitting in my seat in the front of the classroom, there was a group that always stayed in the back of the classroom. You have, those wild ones that, they clump together. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I felt this tap in the back of my head. Mm-hmm. And I went to go feel it, and someone threw a wad of gum into my hair. And I had long hair back then. Right. And I just stood up and I just turned around and I said, I'm not going to say what I said exactly, but I said, who? I stood up and I pointed to the group that I know it came from.
Right.
And I said, who did that? How dare you do that?
Mm-hmm.
What did I ever do to you? And the teacher, who was this little white woman with these big, thick Coke bottle glasses, Diane, calm down. I'm like, I'm not going to calm down. Right. I just got this rage. And then it was like, okay, we simmered down. But then when I left that class, I was like, oh, crap. Mm-hmm. I'm in trouble now because, I was outnumbered and I didn't know if there was going to be any recourse.
Well, see, that's how I feel every day.
Right. So I had all my friends, all my girlfriends that I had in school were all black. Okay. Because there was maybe one or two white girls and I didn't really care for them. So I hung out with, my black girlfriends.
That was your crew.
That was my crew.
Okay.
So I called up and I said, Pinky, I said, I need your help. And I ran down to her. What happened? She said, don't worry, I got your back.
See?
Nothing ever happened. Nothing ever came of it.
I think you grabbed their respect that when you jumped right up and said, whose ass do I have to kick now?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's when you won it right there.
Mm-hmm.
You said, I'm not going to take this.
Right.
That was bold.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Exactly.
And that's the best way to be honest with people and not to take crap.
Exactly. And I think from that point on, there was a certain amount of respect that I started feeling. Right. And I was like, all right, okay. This is good.
Over her.
Right. Right. I'm here, I'm not going to, do anything to you, so don't do anything to me.
Cool. That's how life works.
Yes. Right. Yes. But, so that's part of my belief that, if I need to stand up for myself, I will do that.
That's the sword and the shield again.
But I will not get back at you because that's not the way to resolve the issues. The issues is, okay, let's figure this out. Why did you throw that gum at me? Was it because I was a white girl and I had long hair and you wanted to see, what was going to happen to my hair? Or, you were just joking around. Right. But whatever it was, it didn't need to come to a brawl.
Right.
But like you said, I just stood up and I stood up for myself.
Cool. Okay, folks, so we're going to end this interview. And again, Diane Sordoni. She's available in town here with her Reiki.
Yes, I do my Reiki circle at the Center of Universal Light every Friday evening. And I also do private sessions on Wednesdays. I do Reiki private sessions and also shamanic sessions.
Cool.
And all those are available and are so necessary for today.
Cool.
To help.
And I'm the Tao of Cottonwood. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Gary.
This was a cool one. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, it wasn't half as bad as you thought. Was
No.
Okay. What did you visualize?
Oh, it was
I was
just...
going to be questioning you, and you was going to be sweating bullets.
Exactly. It's like, all right, how do I answer that one? And how do I answer this one? Or, just coming up with the answers and stuff like that. That sometimes
our imagery that we were given when we were younger really screwed us up.
Mm-hmm.
You could mention